New York Post, Monday 9, 2025. Catching up on the New York Post for the past week, bringing up to current day. Now, fire and ice. That's an interesting mix. I think the New York Post, they have some of the most creative writers I've seen so far. Fire and ice, exactly what's happening. It's a contrast between protesters and ICE agents. So now LA rioter waves Mexican flag as protesters torch cars, attack Fed agents. Dozens of thugs arrested as First National Guard troops are deployed. A masked protester on a dirt bike waving a Mexican flag as he performs donuts around a blazing car in Los Angeles has become a symbol of the anti-ICE riots in the city as protesters resumed yesterday in downtown LA, where National Guard troops were deployed and clashed with demonstrators. Alright, boycott call for Roosevelt Island Cornell Israel tie. Who do we have here? Looks like Beyonce's live haute couture. It's an interesting outfit. Alright, flag bearer of anti-ICE chaos. Symbol of protest is from other country. Alright, Trump deploys the National Guard. Crowd funded by Dems. Ties to China and Marxists too. Lax on the lawless, attacks on the law. What do we have? Puerto Rican parade is a La Bamba. Alright. Suspended by ABC for anti-White House diatribe. Terry's Moran Ick tirade. Ranting and raving. ABC News suspended senior national correspondent Terry Moran. It's an interesting last name. Terry Moran, for his inflammatory post about White House advisor Stephen Miller and the Trump administration. Let's see a little bit more. ABC News senior national correspondent Terry Moran has been suspended after going on a late-night screed against top White House advisor Stephen Miller, along with President Trump on social media, drawing scathing backlash from the Trump administration. Como dogs Brad and lawsuits. Happy days here again. The Tony Awards. Okay. What else do we have here? We're not afraid. Adams moves to curb Jew hate. This looks bad for LA, but good for Trump. Alright, let's see now. Alonzo passes right on HR list as Mets go deep 6 times to crush lowly Rockies. Rock to sweep. Alright. So next day, New York Post, welcome back Tuesday, June 10th, 2025. Spit in our faces. Many Los Angeles residents are decrying ICE protesters who are setting cars on fire and spitting on American flags. You guys are damaging your own people's businesses, one owner said. I just think it's stupid. Continuing page 4 to 9. LA residents and business owners furious at hatred, violence, and looting by protesters. Alright, what do we have? Who is this? Sydney. Alright, red, white, and spew hate. Restaurant shelters cops amid clashes. U.S. Armed Forces called in. Defense Secretary sends Marines to join National Guard in embattled city. All right. The best. Kid Pro Cole. That's interesting. Interest mutual between Knicks and Mavs coach. Go to the next. Wednesday, June 11, 2025. Damnation Army. LA charities handing out gas masks, face shields, and anti-ice gear. Plus, at least 65 arrests in NYC. Charities are helping to fuel the riots in Los Angeles, with one group handing out face shields, while a homeless nonprofit is distributing gear that includes bags that say F-K ice. It's right there. And we're not talking about the ice you get from the refrigerator. What about the real ice? So NYC leftists would limit upstate farms. Gas bag pose high cow count cap. Methane, alright. Fake. Left-wing nonprofits distribute anti-ice. See, anti-ice, it's not talking about ice cubes you get from the refrigerator. It's talking about the immigration agent. Alright, so let's see what do we have here. LA called as cops zip-tie bus away protesters, streets of fury. Wow, this is ugly. Jail the flag themes. Mike's code to guy. Getting anti-Trump bump is Door's goal. That's interesting. The Daily News says even former foes are uniting to target Trump administration. All right, let's see. All right, now we're up to speed today. New York Post, Thursday, June 12th, 2025. It's on the front page. We have Lights to Beach. Brian Wilson, genius poet of surf, dead at 82. This is who they protest for. Illegal migrant arrested for throwing Molotov cocktail at police during ICE riots. So we have one of the illegal migrants whom protesters marched to protect from deportation is Emiliano Gardono Galvez, a Mexican national who has been arrested for DUI and theft and allegedly threw a Molotov explosive at cops. Okay. Sunken treasure. What is the shipwreck coins of Colombia may reveal $20 billion ship? What do we have here? Jerusalem Cross G8, for Escuado Day 8 Sea Waves, symbol of the Lima Mint, column of Hercules, H right there, mark of Esayer Francisco Hurtado. There it is. History. The Spanish galleon San Jose was sunk by a British ambush in 1708 while filled with wreckage. Believed to be the ship was discovered 3 centuries. My God, 300 years later. We got more on this. Unruly Anti-ICE rallies spread from LA to 35 cities. South by South unrest. Bystanders side-eye the heist out of Austin rally on Monday. The left-leaning Texas city was one of 35 urban centers to see protests. Across state picket lines. Children of elite among 85 busted at Foley Square rally. NY creme de la crime. New York Post. I continue to say this have some of the most creative writers. Hard to defend $60,000 rip-off. Penthouse lawyer. A federal indictment alleges Queens defenders found Lori Zeno stole at least $60,000 from the organization to live high on the Hajj, including a lease on a penthouse. Renewed conviction. Weinstein again found guilty of SEX crime retrial. Patterson, former governor, ex-gov for mayor. Patterson endorses Cuomo. He heard sounds. Brilliant. Brian Wilson's ear for music was impossible to replicate. Wowing Bob Dylan and the Beatles, and most evident on his work in the studio, a 1966 masterpiece, Pet Sounds, Pet LP Alter Music. Okay, art of the trade deal with China. History and parade, arms from all wars in Army B-Day March. The Dawn, Trump 2.0, Prez makes nice too. What is Elon saying here? I regret some of my posts about President. Real Donald Trump last week, they went too far. Okay, so it sounds like he's apologizing. President Trump and ravishing First Lady Melania are dressed to the nines Wednesday evening as they head to the Kennedy Center in D.C. for the opening night of Les Miserables. It was the president's first time in attendance at the historic performance venue since he took control of the cultural institution, and he said he was unfazed that some Les Mis cast members boycotted his appearance. Done deal on China tariffs. All right, let's wrap it up.